Hello, everyone, and welcome to Karen and Sonee's book club. Sonee is just here on cue to join me and the wonderful Greg Reid, and we are here to talk about the wonderful book that is personal development. I am based here in Perth, Western Australia. Sonee is in Thailand currently, and Greg, you are in California. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's right. A little beach community out of San Diego.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Well, we have been loving your book, haven't we, Sonee? We have been loving your book, and we are having a conversation. You have been part of over 150 books, whether it's, you've written the book yourself, whether you've been part of a forward or been part of the book in itself. Like 150 is like, wow, isn't it?
Yeah,
What a legacy.
It's impressive.
It's really wild, especially for a guy who's dyslexic and can't spell or read very well. So go figure, right?
Let's go there, because it's one of the most fascinating things I get about your journey is because you have written and published many books, and like personal development is one of the ones that I absolutely love and adore of your books. So, well, you're going out on a high. I absolutely love it. But you actually co-authored with Sharon Lecter, didn't you? 3 Feet from Gold.
Yes.
And you've written a lots of other books. I mean, part of a lot of authors' journeys as well. And you are dyslexic. I can connect because I'm slightly dyslexic myself. But the power to call, to share story and to connect with people through words is so powerful that doesn't become a block. So can you share with our readers that?
Yeah, well, we work our strengths and then we hire or we duplicate align with our weakness. So, for example, I'm pretty good with the gift of gab. I can communicate really well, but I can't write very strongly. So I get the best ghostwriters and editors, and they take my words and then craft it in a way people would want to read. Trust me, you don't want to read what I write because it's going to be like dog, boat, beaver, car. It makes no sense. So they take it and craft in a way people go on. And after 150 books, I decided this is going to be my swan song. It's the last book I'm ever going to do as a solo author. In fact, I even left my name off it because I didn't want to be about the author. I want to be about the product. And after 20 years of interviewing the most powerful and amazing people, like Bob Proctor and I wrote Thoughts Are Things, and Sharon Lecter and I wrote 3 Feet from Gold, and we did, The Millionaire Mentor and Stickability and all these great projects. I thought, wouldn't it be good to take the best of the golden nuggets and put it all into one form where people can take it, digest it, and then pass it on?
Oh, you absolutely
And that is something
have.
that really impressed me, is that there's so much information in this one book, and it's compact, easy to read, easy to digest. How was it for you putting together this information? Like, how did you go through and say, okay, this is what I want to include. These are the most important factors to include in a personal development book?
Well, that's a great question, because I felt like I was playing God. It's like, who am I to determine what is the classic and not? So I had a mastermind group, and there was a group of about 12 of us. And for 1 year, we went on a journey and we interviewed all these amazing people, and we collaborated and said, what book has inspired you? Which one have you heard out on the streets? And then we simplified it. So, if you read an entire book called, let's say, a 300-page book called As a Man Thinketh, we said, how can we condense that down to a paragraph? And say, well, as a man thinketh is what you think about, backed by your actions, become the truth of your reality. It's not, I can tell everything about you by the people you meet. I can tell you everything about you by the circumstances of which you're in, because those are the actions that you choose to take. There you go. I just saved you 300 pages. And so what we did is took every book of personal development and reduce it down to a paragraph so people go, oh, that's it. So then they could go explore more if they chose to.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
such it's an amazing book, isn't it, Sonee, for the people who are crossing the bridge to awakening, because lots of people are well read in this industry. There's lots of books, and they are 300 pages long, and they are maybe overwhelming and off-putting for people who are just walking across to this awakened stage, whereas you regurgitate all of that high vibe information and you deliver it in a simplified form so that people can understand it, like talk in layman's terms so that I can understand it and have my own awakening. Isn't that kind of part of the essence of it?
Yeah, I like that. Regurgitate it. Yeah, basically I throw up in this book. You're going to love it. So what I do is I take the simplest little things and these little golden aha moments. And, it's like this one here. It's so simple. Every wall is a door. It makes you just stop for a second, go, what the heck does that mean? So, all right, well, there might be another little way of looking at something. And what we did is kept doing these deep, deep dives. And here's one of my favorite. Never beg a person to give them a compliment, opportunity, or money. But how many times have we stopped and said, let me give you this great opportunity, and then you try to beg them and hunt them down to do so? Or a compliment and say, hey, you look beautiful today. And they go, oh, no, I don't. Then I go, oh, yes, you do. And you have to argue to give them a compliment. And so I realized that the most successful people never beg another person to give them a compliment, an opportunity, or cash.
Genius. Sonee, I caught it in you earlier.
It's towards the end of the what is old is new again, which in a way is similar to the wall. Is just taking things and getting a new perspective. And I feel that overall, that's what your book does. Like a lot of the information, as you said, were things that I'd heard, but they'd never been put together in this way to have that level of impact. And I was astounded, really, because you have just so much in there that I think if somebody wanted to find out more, they would know without you actually saying, here's where you can go find information. You have quotes from different people. You have like stories about different people that it's accessible. It's like, I was wondering, is the way that you intended for it to be put together, or was it just a happy circumstance?
No, that was the intention. In fact, it was so cool. I got a call, Les Brown and Brian Tracy and all these amazing people, Bob Bird from The Go-Giver, and say, listen, I go, I'm going to write this book called Personal Development. I'm going to give you an opportunity to share with me and my mastermind group exactly what you'd like to be left as your legacy piece. Not what we read, things, but would you change it? And that's what we got an opportunity to actually share with people. And one of my greatest little aha nuggets in here was not what I invented, but Tyler Perry, the guy who makes all the movies and TV shows. He had this quote that just blew my mind, and I saw it on Instagram. And so I replaced it and put it in here. And I don't know about you, but how many times have we wanted success more for someone else than they wanted for themselves? And again, we begged them to give this some opportunity. And here's what he said. Stop trying to drag people up a mountain with you. He says, understand this. Most people cannot breathe at 15,000 feet, and you're just going to kill them. He says, bring them up to the altitude that they can sustain themselves at a plateau, and then you keep climbing. So hopefully they can acclimate to that level and then join you along the journey. But stop trying to drag people, because chances are you're going to hurt them. Boom.
Wow. That is very oh, wow. That is such a defining kind of realization, because when you're on a journey, and I know how well connected you are, you've been in this industry for a long time now, Greg, and you're so well connected, and you've written the books, but this is totally a legacy book. And it is that when people can only go there when they're ready. If you're dragging them kicking and screaming, they're not ready, they won't learn, they won't be able to absorb the knowledge. And you talk about education. I think it was at the beginning of the book where you talk about how education and how we inform ourselves is important, and what we take on board, and really what resonates with us at any given time. Because this is a book that I believe that you read it now, like we're reading it now, Sonee, aren't we? And then we'll read it again maybe next year, and we'll take something different from it. So we take what we need at the time for that, because as Sonee said, there's a lot in this amazing personal development book.
Yeah, and let's not overcomplicate, because I call it a bathroom book. And what does that mean? Well, you can sit down at any sitting and you can get a couple paragraphs in there and get some golden gems. And no matter where you open it up to, you're going to get some knowledge. And that's how I wanted to create it. It's almost like, how could you write a book that you'd want to read, right? Not one that other people, but what would you like to read? Because if you would, then other people would too. And my publishers and everyone kept saying, no, you can't do it with big font and little words and a bunch of quotes. I go, who says? I go, that's what people want to see. It's like the Instagram moment. They want that 8 seconds, boom, 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 hit my heart, and then move on.
And that is also really part of what's impactful in the book, that you can really pick it up anywhere and just open a page and say, what's my message today, or what can I read? You don't have to read in sequence. What I was wondering is, how does the book reflect your own personal development? How has that experience been for you, and how much of it is in here?
100%. Everything you read in here is what impacted my life. That's what this book is. So it's accumulation of all the most amazing golden nuggets, simplified and reduced for 7th grade reading level, where we can go, all right, this is what it's about. This is what's got me here. Here's the golden gem. And as long as people understand, it's also accumulation of my mastermind group, where we all came together and said, it's almost like a judge and jury saying, out of all these different things, which one of these hit us the most? And then what we would do is reduce that to, again, the most basic terms, so that people can not only grasp it, but they could apply it. Look, wisdom, if you sit there and they say you should do this, is one thing, but it's to say, this is how you can do this, is different. And I'm gonna give you guys one simple gem: the mirror mentor. It's in here, the mirror mentor. What does that mean? Look, going to your family and friends and asking them for counsel what you should do, or hiring a life coach, is one thing, but they don't know inside your brain what you're thinking. At the end of the day, we want to have a mirror mentor. That means look into a mirror, look at yourself and say, hey, what are you ready for? But more importantly, what actions are you going to take, and what are you willing to sacrifice to do it? Because only you know that answer. And then you can give yourself the best guidance, because someone telling you not to smoke cigarettes means nothing until you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and your kid's like frowning. That's where you say, hey, what am I doing to myself? And that's where the moments change. So the mirror mentor, to me, is the most powerful takeaway.
And who has been a mirror
that's
mentor for you?
What was that, Sonee? I didn't catch that last bit, Sonee, sorry.
Mirror mentor for you.
Who's been a mentor? Well, I've had so many. Charlie Tremendous Jones, which we talk about here. Bob Berg from the Go Giver was an amazing guy. Brian Tracy was the first person to ever give me a blurb to put on the cover of my book, where I felt like I kind of made it. I've had so many of them along this quest. David Corbin. I love this guy because Dave Corbin taught me the power of illuminate. He says, you don't accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. You accentuate the positive and you illuminate. You put a spotlight on the negative. As soon as you do, it gets rid of it. But most people hide in fear. So I'm a single guy. So if I go out on a first date, I knock on the door, I got a big old pimple. As soon as she opens the door, I'm going to go, all right, Kilimanjaro's right here. You laugh, you get out of the way. The whole night, I don't have to worry about hiding it behind the napkin, right? Because you just put it out there. So what we want to do is illuminate things, because as soon as we do, we can live our lives in peace.
Oh, I love that. And you have had some great mentors, but you have also, and still are, a very great mentor for a lot of people, and will continue to be through this amazing book for many lifetimes. I know that, Greg Reid. So thank you so much. And to our amazing book club readers, go make sure that you do your reviews on Amazon afterwards. It's the biggest gift you can give an author, for the gift of their knowledge, and because Greg has put his heart and soul into this book so that he can help you on your personal development journey. And thank you so much, Greg, for joining us today.
And thank you very much for... Yeah, there you go. You got it. Everyone's sharing it. And by the way, when you do the reviews, just be honest. Share your honest feelings. It's interesting. Talk about illumination. I did a book years ago called Stickability, and I had like hundreds of people tell me how great it was. And one guy wrote a 1-star review and said, it sucks. And I was so ashamed. I went, oh my gosh, people are going to see this. What do I do? I called my mentor, Dave Corbin. I said, what do I do? And he said, illuminate. You know the answer. So I sent an email out to 35,000 people on my email list. And I said, hey, everyone, my new book's out. Everyone loves it. One guy says, it sucks. I put the link on there. I didn't run from it. And guess what? It became a bestseller the next day. So
you create a curiosity and intrigue. I love it. I'm going to use illuminate in my life now.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Get a copy of Personal Development.
Get a copy. Thanks so much, Greg. Take care. Bye.
Bye.